Hello, Viking fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Viking Talk with Coach Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis, and as always, glad to have with us Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, good to see you.
You too, Brandon.
Well, folks are like you and us. This is almost like Christmas Eve. We're getting ready to start football season, so I know you've got to be as excited as I am.
Yes, it's been a lot of time building up for this moment, and it's here, and it's an exciting time, and this is what we do, and as coaches, as players, as fans, everybody's looking forward to it. So it's always a great time. Everybody has high expectations. I know we do, and just excited to play and all that comes along with Friday nights.
Everybody's undefeated right now. Everybody's got their dreams and aspirations ahead of them. But before we get into that, let's go back and talk about last week. Coach, we go over to Madison Central to take on the defending state 6A champs in a warm-up two-quarter scrimmage. Came away with a 3-0 win over the Jaguars. You and the coaching staff, you've looked over the tape. Give us your assessment of that game.
Well, those are it's really important to play because there's so many things that go overlooked and so many certain things that we were able to pull from tape and to make us better, and that's why we wanted to do it. I was very proud of our guys and their mindsets and handling all that came with it, from the traveling to getting ready to play and a rain delay in there. So again, we wanted to use it to mature our football team and to gather experience, and I feel like we were able to do that. I loved how we competed, got off the bus ready to play, and so I was pleased with the overall performance of our guys from offense, defense, and special teams. And I really think we got what we needed to get done, and I'm glad that we were able to get it in, all of it, and played a bunch of youngins and were able to really evaluate them. And again, that's what we wanted to do. And we're also able to win. So, it's always important. We wanted to, it's always good when you win and then you're able to get better, And so it was good for us, and glad that we got it under our belt.
Let's look at this Viking defense. You went up against one of the top quarterbacks in the state. He has already committed to Louisiana Tech, and Vic Sutton. Also have a great running back and a great core coming back. Great performance on defense. You held them to obviously no score and only 50 total yards in two quarters, Coach. I know you saw some mistakes that they made because it was a scrimmage this first part of the year, but how good can this defense be?
Well, we have some difference makers, and we have some guys that I think Ronnie Blossom and Julian Denby are able to do some stuff coming off the edge that really disrupts offenses. I feel like that we have a strong defensive line, and when you're able to shut down the run game, they could not, get the run game going, which is good to see. And so that was encouraging. That's what we expected from our D-line. We feel really good about them, and I was more pleased with our secondary. Not allowing to give up the big play and keep those guys in front of us, and very talented skill group that they had and that we saw, and like as you mentioned, a really good quarterback. So it was good to see us play a really good team and hold up fairly well.
The Viking offensive line, Coach, they started out a little slow, but they improved as the game went along. I know you wanted to see that. Are you pleased what you saw from them overall as a body of work?
I felt coming out of the Jamboree that was the one that we all were not pleased with. We just didn't. We thought we were going to play a lot better than that, expected them to play a lot better, and we've got to be better up there because that's the type of team that we want to be and that we're going to lean on. And I think we're going to get better. I think we're going to get better from that. I think they were very quick up front and did some things that, again, as you mentioned, sometimes little stuff as far as just the speed and how it's so important that we had to practice with that kind of same intensity and same speed during our practices. And so once we did some good things, but we've got to get a better push, and we've got to get guys going in the right places. And I think that's film from that game, coaching points from that game is going to make us better moving forward.
Well, you did have a very balanced offensive approach, around 60 yards rushing, 65 passing. But you only scored 3 points over two quarters, and I know you did get the win and this, that, and the other. But how do you hope that you can finish drives and get touchdowns on the board rather than field goals?
Well, going in, we were competing against ourselves, really. We wanted to execute and be sharp. We were able to sustain some drives. I felt like we left a lot of plays on the field. We missed several bubble screens and little perimeter passes that if we hit them, I know that they're going to turn into big games, and we've got to hit those. We've got to hit those. Those are, in our book, those are gimmies, and we've got to be better in that aspect. I think. So again, and then kind of going back to the offensive line, if four guys are going in the right spots and getting a good push, and one messes up, that just shows you that how important it is to be able to play as a cohesive group and be consistently good all the time. And everything that we messed up on can be fixed. And again, that's what your jamborees are for. But we've got to play better. We expect to play better, and we're going to hold them to a high standard and keep pushing them and coaching them until they get there. So very promising, but we left a lot of plays on the field.
Well, one of the bright spots was the freshman kicker. Jonah Artman hit a 32-yarder from the right hash, and that's not easy for most kickers to hit from the right hash, Coach, but I know you have to be pleased with that young man.
Well, he's growing up before our eyes already. What a great experience for him to be put in. Very proud of how he handled it. I know what I'd have done if that was my first kick. I'd have kicked that ball up in the stands. So I'm very proud of him. And again, that's all he's done in practice has been consistent, and that's why he's our starting kicker right now. And so he's earned that. We felt comfortable with him. And again, it goes back to the importance of a good snap and a good hold, so a lot of people touch the ball on that play, and so it's special teams are special. We win a lot of games with them, and we harp on them an awful lot.
Well, it's good to see the big smile on his face, but I'm like you, I'd have probably kicked it over the bus or something.
No doubt.
That situation. About 6 minutes to go in the second quarter of this game, we had a rain and lightning delay. No surprise. We usually have that in August. Hopefully that's the last one we have. You had a chance to possibly cancel the game, get on the bus, and go on back home with a 3-0 win, but you and Coach Collins, you talked it over the officials. You decided to wait it out and try to finish this game out. What was the discussion like in those moments?
Well, we were miserable. We were in the little dressing room, hot and sweaty, and all our guys crammed in there, and we wanted to give the guys the opportunity to play. That's why we signed up for it, and that's why we agreed to play it. So we were trying to do all we could to play it. And we decided to give it one more chance with the Lightning, and if it would hold true, then we'd play, and if it didn't, we just got to the point where we had to make a decision for just everybody. So we hung in there with it as long as we could, and both wanted to get we had 6 minutes left in our varsity half, and then we hadn't even got a chance to look at our younger guys and our two deep and our junior varsity guys. So really wanted to see that, and that's how important it is to us. And actually, after that, it turned out to be a nice evening for football, especially in August. So
right.
I'm glad. I think it paid off for us, and it's worth the wait.
Yeah, you really want to see your JV, your two deep. You want to see those younger kids get those reps. So it was important to hold out and wait, right?
It was. I mean, these kids have been working awfully hard.
Right.
And as their coach, the reward is getting to play on Fridays. And I just, like I said, we wanted to do all we could for them.
Well, this is Viking Talk. We're visiting with Coach Josh Morgan. This week, Coach, opening up the 2022 regular season against the Forest Hill Patriots. What can you tell us about this bunch?
Well, what we know of them is they're going to be athletic, very big. Offensive line is really big, and skill guys are big. It's Forest Hills. It's a typical JPS school. It's very talented, athletic. Quarterback's got a really big arm. Really big guys in front of him, and it's a new coach taking over, Coach Moore. So we don't really know a lot about schematic-wise what we're going to see, but I do know the type of personnel that they have and what to expect on that end, and I'm pretty much banking on them bigger and faster than us, and that's when we approach these games like that. That's the best way I can put it. Very athletic and got really good size, and going to have some really good players.
Yeah, Coach Moore takes over for Coach Jones, who left for South Pike. Come into a tough situation, and kudos to him for stepping up to support these kids and help them out. They're going to come in with a spread concept, which we've seen on most of their film, offense 4 and 5 receiver sets, Coach, with a pretty fast running back in the backfield from what I've seen from them. So talk about the challenge that puts on not necessarily the D-line, but the back half of your defense.
Well, anybody that can throw it and catch it is very dangerous, and that's football. You can stop them, if they're going to throw it that much and give their guys that many opportunities. You can be good on 4 plays, but if they hit one of them, they have the weapons and the talent to do some real damage with it. So that puts a lot of pressure on our secondary. Now, on the other end of that it stresses the importance of a really consistently good pass rush to apply pressure on the quarterback and getting him off his mark and making sure that he's not camping out and having the time that he needs to find his receivers. So we'll play and going into it, really got a good plan, and we're going to have to play great team defense. So that's how we're going to approach it. And everybody's got a job to do, and it's important that we're doing it with all we got.
Well, what you normally see with these spread concepts with these receivers in the slots, usually they're faster guys. They're going to throw these shorter hitches, these out routes. The importance of open field tackling is really going to be magnitude this week. Would you agree?
Yeah, we have to, be patient too is another one. Sometimes a hitch is not bad. Sometimes making them check it down and making them consistently be good and consistently march and drive the football. So we have to be patient. We have to be good at tackling. We have to make sure that we're minimizing, the blowout there, so to speak, as far as, not letting one of those talented receivers get loose on us. And another thing is getting off the field on third downs. We have to be opportunistic. Anytime you throw the ball as much as they do or we think they're going to, there's more bad things that can happen than good. So it's, whether it's a sack or incomplete pass or a tip ball or whatever. So it's fun. It should be a fun game to play in if you're a defense and you get to pin your ears back and get to fly around to the football and make plays. So that's again, it's going to take a total team effort.
Well, on defense for Forest Hill, they're led by one of the top linebackers in 5A football, number 3, Martavius Blackman. Coach, this is going to be a big job for our offense to contain him this week.
Well, he's he really causes chaos and disrupts offenses. He's a very talented blitzer and really brings some good pressure and a good football player. He's definitely their spark plug, and we got to know where he is at all times. We got to slow him down with our cadence and also identify him in our fronts and with our backs and our protections and make sure that he doesn't slow us down in what we're doing. But yes, definitely got to know where he is.
Also, they have a defensive tackle, number 99. I don't have the young man's name, but a wide body. Coach, we've seen him last year. They played him in a nose guard and on a 3 front, but also this year they're going more to a 4 front, so he's playing more of a tackle approach. He's going to be a huge load for the offensive line, and whether he lines up on a guard or a center, because he did a great job in the jamborees preventing running plays against the other team.
Yeah, he's a big human being is what he is, and anytime you get somebody like that, and again it goes back to the side and athleticism, he's a good athlete too, and they've got several more up front, and it's going to be a challenge for us. It's going to be a challenge for us to make sure that we're on point with our run game, but also in our pass pro right there. So again, that's again hopefully trying to get things fixed coming off of our jamboree. Anxious to see that, but yeah, we're gonna have to be good up front and move the line, and we're gonna have to handle him. Sometimes you can't move all that, and sometimes it's just you do the best you can and try to seal him off and get your head in the right place. But yeah, very talented, very big young man.
Well, a linebacker's best friend is a D lineman that keeps
right.
keeps him off of him, and he's done a great job of that in his career.
Yeah, and a lot of times they'll both be on the same side of the ball, and so they're definitely a force to be reckoned with there.
Well, this is our first game of the season, and we talked about film. There's not a lot to see on this Forest Hill bunch, so you're kind of going into it not knowing what to expect. How do you and the coaching staff prepare for the first game of the season, and do you have to rely more on your in-game adjustments as the game goes along?
Yes, that's a good point. We have to be coachable, and that's another thing about, especially early on in the year, we've got to be able to make adjustments for what we're seeing, what they're seeing. It goes back to the old, it's not necessarily drawing something up in the dirt, but going back to verbiage that they're familiar with and stuff that we've done in the summer and all the coaching, and being able to make adjustments and them being able to handle it on the run. So that's going to be very important. Also, we're focused on us, and we really are. If we'll play at our best and be really sharp and execute and do what we're supposed to do, you know, it usually takes care of itself. So I'm really hoping that our identity and our execution will really outweigh really the poor scouting that we have on them just because of the lack of. So really, and I feel trustworthy of that, and I really trust our guys and what we do, and I trust our players with that as well.
Well, this is the 60th Red Carpet Bowl this year, Coach. We talked about that last week. Kind of hard to believe we're at the 60th, but we host this year, meaning we play the late game. Ball coaches, we know, y'all are natures of habit and routine, but you're not playing and kicking this game off to probably 8:30 Friday night, if maybe later than that, depending on how the first game goes. How do you overcome that?
It's not fun. I'll be very honest with you. It reminds me of when I was playing at State, the old ESPN2 games that kicked off at 8 o'clock, and you've been in a hotel room the entire
all day,
and it's miserable. And getting home at whatever, you know, God knows what time, and that's going to be a big part of it. Our kids have to, you know, we don't need to be waking up ready to play. You know, that time will come. But you know, we're going to do the best that we can. You know, and Mike cut some movies on in our dead time. Red Carpet Bowl feeds them really good. Mm-hmm. So we'll eat, and then we'll bunk it down and rest, and then we're going to try to let the guys go out and at least watch the first half of the game, because we play both these guys week 2 and week 3. So you know, take them out and let them watch some football the first half, and then bring them in after halftime and start getting ready to go. So that's the best that I could come up with, but they're anxious already, and you know, it's hard. It's hard for us as coaches as well. But we got a good plan, and we've got good seniors and got good leadership, and I feel like we'll handle it just fine.
So you're not going to karaoke machine or anything in here and maybe do some singing with them?
No.
I could see you more of a Neil Diamond type guy.
No, not at all.
I would like to thank Randy Wright for sponsoring a meal for us this week. Red Carpet Bowl and Goldie's always does a great job with that. I know it always gives you guys a good meal, one of the highlight meals of the year.
Yes,
We're fed great the entire year, but we always look forward to the meal at Red Carpet Bowl. So maybe you'll get you a nap after you eat that chicken that he's going to serve you.
That's right.
But no Neil Diamond. I'll come in here. We'll do something. Yeah. Don't worry about it, folks. We'll record that for you. All right, Coach, keys to beating Forest Hill.
Well, I think, you know, starting with our defense, we need to make sure that we eliminate big plays and again, make them be consistently good. I'm anxious to see us play a full game in all 3 phases. And this is the real deal. So anxious about that in a lot of different aspects, but I'm really excited about watching our guys play on our home field and in front of our people, and looking for a special night. But got to eliminate big plays and make sure that they don't hit those home run balls, and that we do tackle well and get off the field on 3rd downs. And offensively, I think a lot of our offense, and I think we all do, is our coaches, and we all know the type of ball team that we want to be and the expectations that we have. And we have to play at a high level, and I'm looking for a high-level performance coming out of the gate and being as sharp as we possibly can and reaching our full potential. And I'm expecting it at week 1. You know, we spent a lot of time working, and I know we won't be perfect by any means, but we need to be in and out of the huddle and transitioning from personnel, and quarterback and Jack needs to do a really good job of running the football team. And so I'm anxious about seeing them play, to be honest with you, because I don't think we played, and they know they didn't play as well as they could have Friday. And so I'm looking for some improvement in that aspect. And this will be the first live look at we've seen at all of our special teams. Mm-hmm. And really excited about watching our cover units and our protections and all that comes with it. So I'm looking forward to watching our Vikings play and really going after a Red Carpet Bowl trophy, and that's always fun. And really being the best us that we can be coming out of the gate, sitting where we are.
Well, Coach, we're going to have some fun this week. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So glad to be back in the saddle
That's
again.
Right.
Well, folks, we appreciate your time. Game, we're probably going to kick off about 8:30. I encourage you to be here early, 7:45, 8 o'clock. As soon as the Vicksburg and Germantown game has concluded, I think you guys are going to be warming up on the practice field before.
I don't know. It's wet.
It's going to be tough. But at any rate, there's not going to be much pageantry before we kick this game off. Otherwise, we're going to be the next day getting out of here. But we encourage you to come out and join us. It's going to be a great show. We always look forward to seeing our folks in Viking Stadium. But we're going to play the Forest Hill Patriots this week. We'll meet with you next week to talk about the huge game against Vicksburg Gators. But first things first, we've got Forest Hill. So until then, I'm Brandon Davis. He's Josh Morgan. We'll talk to you next week. Until then, rise up Vikings.